Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. So today, instead of flying rockets or, blowing things up, which is the normal for Kerbal Space Program, I decided instead I would go for a drive. So I'm in sandbox mode, and I've got Jebediah in a little car I already put together. Decided it was kind of boring to watch me try and build a car, and building a car was kind of difficult to do on camera. I was very distracted, and it made for horrible commentary. Trust me. So today I decided I wanted to take my car for a drive and drive out to the mountains. Those mountains? Are those the mountains I'm thinking of? I don't know. Actually, I should probably check the map, right? Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I wanted to head over to towards like K2, and Jeb could pick up a surface sample for the Kerbal Space Center. Alright. So, well, that's all I have planned. So, from here on out, I'm just going to be bullshitting about whatever comes to mind. One thing I was thinking about... Oh, and that's just my, my capsule for getting into my buggy. One thing I was reading earlier was about Kepler 452b. It's the planet that was discovered, the closest planet within within the habitable zone of a star, and it's, I think, 60% larger than the Earth, which, well, that seems pretty big to me, but apparently that's the smallest one they found so far. Yeah. Anyways, though, I thought that was very interesting, and if you guys, care about that at all, you should check it out. So, oh, I have my brakes on. Like, the brakes on this buggy kind of suck. I was just driving with the brakes on just fine, as if they weren't even on. We're going about 16 meters per second. Now we're getting up to 21. I tested this buggy out before I started the video, and 21.5 is about its top speed, and I did a quick calculation, and that is about 48 point something or another miles per hour. So this is not that slow. It looks really slow, but I mean, Kerbal Space Program is on a huge flat area. It just doesn't look all that big when you're normally used to seeing it from a plane or a rocket. So, and Jebediah looks quite happy about things. Nothing's exploding, Jeb. Why are you so happy? Well, anyways. Let's see. See what kind of shenanigans we can get up to. So, all I equipped this vehicle with was a couple of generators. And there's a couple generators, if I can see. I think there's a couple generators right here in the front of the car, if you can see them, along with a couple batteries hidden in here. Are there a couple batteries in here? No batteries in here. I built this all out of the structural I-beams and a couple of the structural panels and whatnot. I quite like it. It's a nice little buggy. Although I have noticed that these lights in the back right here tend to explode if I accidentally, pop a wheelie, which isn't that hard to do, actually. So, I look forward to those lights probably being gone by the end of this journey. And of course you gotta have a pair of cross-eyed headlights, right? So, also a couple solar panels for good measure. And if you look at the charge, I mean, it's generating way more electricity than it can use. And I tested it at night, too, and it works even at night. So, got nothing to worry about. Maybe I should have made something to worry about. Who knows? But anyways, I just figured I'd go for a drive in Kerbal Space Program. See how far I could get. I mean, well, because, driving in this game, if you've ever tried it, can be dangerous because it bounces a lot, like it was just doing there. And, well, it's very unforgiving if you go and try to steer too quickly. Like, oh, well, not while I'm going uphill, but if I've got this at top speed and I try to steer too quickly, it'll actually tip over. Even though this looks like it's... Oh, It's jittering. Okay, even though this looks like it's pretty stable, it's pretty low slung for something. It will tip up like that. This actually drives on 2 wheels pretty great. Ooh. Yeah, so this can fall over quite easily. The only other thing I put on, oh, bleh, excuse me. The only other thing I went and put on here was this surface scanning module. I have not used one of these yet, or even seen one of them until I put them on the buggy, because, well, I haven't played that much since 1.0 came out, and trees! I've also never played with the ground scatter on. I didn't realize there were going to be trees along my journey. Are they solid yet? I don't know. Well, I'm going to go find out. But anyway, so this thing gives you some sort of science from the ground. I'm not really sure what. Oh, once we stop jittering across the surface. Oh, gosh. Once we stop jittering across the surface here, I'll click Run Analysis. Resource analysis performed for carbon grasslands. Oh, this is for the mining that was introduced to the game. I see. So that's something I know they added to the game was the you can mine for fuel. And I had no clue what this was for. So it's for scanning for fuel. I wonder, can I like see that from orbit or something? No? Maybe I have to have some other fuel scanning tools with me in order to see what that found. But that's interesting. So I guess Jebediah's mission wasn't actually to go take a surface sample from the mountains, but was to run some scans to find out whether or not the mountains contain fuel. Because, you know, we always like turning natural monuments and whatnot into sources of oil and anything else we can get our hands on, right? So is this solid? Probably don't want to hit it too fast just in case it is solid, right? I don't think they're solid. And nope, not solid. Straight through it. So for science, we have found out the ground scatter is still not solid. Oh, and that's K2, right? I think they call that K2. Well, I guess it's a good as any landmark to head for. Just aim for it. So, oh man. The, what was I? Well, I lost my train of thought in a one-track mind. Well, anyways, so I was talking about the resource. Oh no, I don't want to fall over. Okay, I was talking about the new resource scanning, or rather the new resource mining, and I haven't tried it out yet, and I might have to go and try that out soon. I've played not a ton of Kerbal Space Program. I played enough, like I know I have landed and gotten back from Duna. I think that's the only other planet I visited. I mean, I visited the moon and Minas, but those are pretty easy. If you've ever played Kerbal Space Program, you know what I mean. Honestly, Duna's pretty easy too, but that's the only other place I've visited in Kerbal Space Program. So I might decide to do a Let's Play on Kerbal Space Program, or a standard Let's Play, so to speak. But until then, well, I decided to do something non-standard. So we're still in the grasslands. I don't know if there's any biome between the grasslands and the mountains, but I guess we'll find out. I'll go ahead and leave that up, that little thing. And it gives latitude and longitude? Oh, that's kind of cool. Ore, surface, 3.87% ore. Does that mean that it would be slow to mine here? 3.88%. So, interesting. So, is there any way I can see, like, where the concentration of ore is with this? I don't know. Anyways, I probably shouldn't spend too long on the map with the vehicle moving along the ground, should I? Because it tends to... Whenever you start going downhill, and it does this, where it sort of starts to... The game says, basically, it isn't experiencing as much sort of normal force on the ground. And look at this little tiny tuft of grass. Interesting. Anyways, the game says it isn't experiencing as much force on the ground because you're sort of kind of in free fall and then touching and then in free fall and then touching, and the game doesn't really know what to do, and so it makes you jitter and bounce, and oftentimes you turn while you're doing that, and, well, turning sideways in a vehicle at 50 miles per hour probably isn't a good idea. It kind of results in flipping. The real world, it kind of results in lots of sliding, maybe flipping too, but Kerbal Space Program, like these buggy wheels, they have a lot of traction apparently, because they almost don't slide at all. I mean, it's hard to tell if they're sliding, but they definitely, you can just flip the vehicle by turning it. And, well, that's kind of scary. Even a vehicle, I mean, this isn't that low to the ground. Considering a Kerbal is only about as tall as the floor of this vehicle, it's pretty tall. But, I mean, then again, how tall is a Kerbal? They look very short. They're probably knee-high, right? They gotta be, like, knee-high. I don't know if anyone's ever talked about how big a Kerbal actually is. Oh, well, actually, you could probably figure it out, because some of the fuel tanks in the game or actually all the fuel tanks in the game are labeled as this is a 1.125 millimeter part, etc. So, well, they're about as tall as those 1.25 millimeter parts are, probably. So they're like 4 feet high, aren't they? Ooh, that's quite a jump. Wow, really? This guy's 4 feet high? Wow, they have massive heads. Their heads are like the size of our torso. A regular person's torso. Oh my gosh. Well, no wonder they came up with the rocket before the wheel, right? Anyways, we're actually getting pretty close to the mountains here. I thought this would take longer. This would be a pretty long journey, but I mean, where's the Space Center? The Space Center's 11.5 kilometers that way. So we've gone about, or rather, that's where my buggy, where the lander cannon for this buggy is. So the runway, the end of the runway, is about 12 kilometers back that direction. Or rather, it's about 11.5 kilometers, and the Space Center is about 12 kilometers back that direction. I think the Space Center is probably a kilometer across. I'm not sure. I might have to measure that sometime. Anyways, so we've traveled 12-ish kilometers. Which, how many miles is that? I don't think in kilometers. I mean, I know a bit about science, and I do all my calculations in kilometers for, like, physics classes and whatnot, but I still can't think, well, in meters, what I meant to say. In the metric system. Gosh, I sound horrible. Anyways, though, but I don't think in kilometers, I think in miles. I think in the standard system of measurement, and of course we have the GAL to call that standard here in the US. I mean, the metric system makes a lot more sense, but I just, when you grow up all your life saying, I've walked a mile, which you don't really, you get a sense for how far a mile is in relation to all your other experiences, whereas with kilometers, I've been taught, well, a kilometer is exactly this many units of a mile. I forget, oh wow, we almost flipped over there. I forget the conversion rate from kilometers to miles. I could look that up real quick, although I don't really feel like it. But we've been told what the conversion rate between those things are. A meter is just a little bit more than 3 feet, and I think, 100 kilometers per hour is very close to 60 miles per hour. Gosh, I'm flubbing all my words. So, I mean, you can kind of get an idea, but it's much different from having the experiences of an entire lifetime of, oh, how much further is this place we're going? Oh, it's 300 miles, and then it takes a few hours to get there. And you sort of associate these things through an entire lifetime, and then you go to change that. But in any case, enough about that. Enough about the kilometers and metric. And I don't know how far 12 kilometers is. is what the whole point of that is. And I'm 15 kilometers by the time I finished explaining that. So actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that calculation really quick while we're driving. I can hopefully multitask properly here. And let's see. I have a graphing calculator that has a unit converter on it, so it's really convenient. Don't have to remember anything, just do it. Let's see, kilometers, 15 kilometers. And how many miles is that? 15 kilometers is 5.9 miles, approximately. So we've gone about 6 miles, a little further now, almost to 16 kilometers. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My recording quit on me there. Hopefully it kept that first part of that recording, but anyways, we're going to continue our journey. We left off, you know, we left off at 15.9 kilometers. So I rolled about 0.1 kilometers, or in other words, about 100 meters, while the recording was quit. Anyways, I need to take off the brakes, get moving again. Alright, so right before the recording cut out on me, I was about to say I watched K2 pop in to a little bit more detail pop in on K2. Periodically, as we've been getting closer and closer, the model gets more and more detailed. And I've never actually, I've seen people like Scott Manley and, you know, people who are good at this game go and land planes on the top of mountains and whatnot. I don't know if he's landing on top of K2. That may not be where he landed a plane, but I watched him land a plane on top of one of the mountains in this mountain range here. And that's just, oh, that was a jump. Caught some air. Ooh, how fast can we go downhill? 22.767? 7 was the max there? Anyways, I watched him land a plane on top of one of these mountain peaks, and that's just insane. I don't know how he has those skills, but somebody needs to, like he needs to share them. Ooh, this is a hill. Okay, how fast can we get down this hill? How? 21.89? 22? We got 22.7 was our top before. Anyways. I'm excited about going like 1 meter per second faster. That's probably... how many miles per hour is 1 meter per second? I don't know. Anyways. Probably reaching 50 miles per hour. I mean... Let's find out. How many miles per hour is 22.7? I think that was the maximum we saw. Ooh, 23 just there. Okay, so 23 miles per hour, or 23 meters per second, excuse me. And 23 meters per second is 51.5 miles per hour, almost a half. So, there you go, 51.5 miles per hour. We've exceeded 50 miles per hour, exceeded the speed limit on many highways. Not many freeways. Freeways are usually 65 here in the U.S. If you aren't watching from the U.S., you probably don't know that. Man, that might be a challenge for me. Try and build a vehicle, or rather a ground vehicle in KSP that can do more than 65. Just break the speed limit in Kerbal Space Program. That would be interesting. I might actually have to give that a try. But anyways, let's see, where are we? What time of day is it? There's the moon. The moon. I wonder how fast we could go on the moon. That would be interesting too. There's the sun. It's almost... what direction is the sun? The sun is that way. Which is... ooh... about... oh gosh, I'm not good at reading this nav wall. So this is north. This is west. So the sun is... ooh, I don't want to flip my car over. Where's the sun? Sun's that way. So the sun is northwest. Does that mean it's setting? I think that means it's setting. It's not quite directly overhead, so we're... that looks like afternoon. Late afternoon? Are we in agreement? I don't know how to tell what the time is in Kerbal Space Program. So, anyways. Oh, we're heading directly... K2 is, like, right under the sun. So, we got time. It's not going to be nighttime anytime soon, but I think I'll show you. I love that you can change the color of the lights in Kerbal Space Program. So I've actually got, like, brake lights. I wish the texture of the actual light, the surface of the light, changed to the color that you change to the light. That would be neat. Pretty much specifically for this purpose. That is one thing, one little touch that I would like to see added to this game, is the color of the lights. When you change the color of the lights, it changes the texture on the surface of the light. That would be neat. But anyways, yeah, I've got like the short distance, widespread lights on the back set to red, so they'll be like tail lights, and also provide a little bit of light for backing up. And of course, these longer are more like spotlights on the front of it, so that you can actually see quite a distance in the dark. I tried them out. But I like this little buggy. I think it's neat. I'll have to try designing other vehicles. So whenever I've designed like a buggy for Kerbal Space Program, I've always designed it specifically to be functional and fit on a rocket. You know, I've never just built one to drive around. And I think that might be a thing I should do for gathering science on Kerbin. Because, well, you know, driving around is actually kind of fun. I'm not used to seeing the detail of this game at this speed. And look at how happy Jebediah is. Look at him. Look at him. He's not quite as happy as Explosions. Well, that's pretty darn happy. That's like as happy as I'm in space. So, yeah. It makes Jebediah happy. It must be good. Well, that might not be the best statement there. I'm not sure that explosions always make everyone happy. Well, they make most people happy. Fireworks are pretty great, right? Except for my dog. My dog hates fireworks. Yeah. Anyways. Moving on. Other than dogs, everyone loves fireworks. Maybe cats. Okay, I'm done with that. So that's about all I don't really have anything else to talk about, do I? No, that's kind of it. We're just about to the mountains. Well, it looks like we're just about to the mountains. How far away are these mountains? Like, we've gone another, what? We've gone 10 kilometers since it was 12 kilometers. We're at 24 kilometers now. Or, well, that's 12 kilometers since it was at 12 kilometers. But, you know, I can do math. They don't really look any closer. I mean, we are... I love that you can zoom out like this. Where are we? We're here. So, oh, wow. We're actually about only, what, halfway? Wow, it looks like we're so much closer than that. These mountains are huge. So, yeah, I probably should have gotten more material for talking about before I set out on a journey of such scale. You can tell I've never tested this journey. But yeah, we're still in the grasslands. We're still in the grasslands. Ooh, we're up to 4.71% ore on the surface. I don't know if that's a good thing. Oof. Like, I'm not sure exactly how to tell what all this mining stuff is. So it's like 3.94% average. Oh, we can run an analysis? Oh, we're in the highlands. Yeah. We left the grasslands. Now we performed an analysis of the highlands. I really don't know how this helps. Does it help at all? So, should I stop heading towards K2? I mean, mountains are pretty far. May as well head straight for the closer ones, right? I mean, we're not going to be able to drive up these mountains. There's no way this little buggy could do that. Although I'm kind of interested to see how steep of a slope this could climb up. It is four-wheel drive, of course. Independent motors. I could, if I could click on it, I could turn this motor off. It doesn't do much. Although, we do seem to be turning left slightly. I mean, it makes sense. Maybe not. I can't tell. Sort of. Sort of. Anyways. I actually, when I built this, I locked the steering of the back two wheels, because you could make a four-wheel steer vehicle. But, I don't know. Steering with four wheels kinda... Here, I'll show you. I'm not good at it. It's not easy. It's just, I'm not used to it. I've been driving for years now. And, no standard car has, you know, four-wheel steering. Whoa! Let me ruin the journey now. Yeah, so... Ooh, steering with four wheels certainly makes the vehicle steer a lot faster. So you see, I can make a tight little circle here. Oh no. Or there's rear wheel steering. Rear wheel steering is even weirder than four wheel steering. Lock the steering in the front. Lock that steering. So now we have rear wheel steering, which doesn't seem weird at first, but oh gosh, we're going downhill and the car's doing all those stupid jittery things. That's also something I wish could be fixed, but this game's not really for driving. This game is for rockets. And I'm sort of making that point for it right now. This game's not for driving. What am I doing driving to the mountains in this game? Anyways, though, rear wheel steering, it's... Ooh, no! Uh-oh. Well. There's the end of that. Apparently rear wheel steering is dangerous. Well, darn. I'm not making it to the mountains today. I'll have to give it another try one time. Oh. Jebediah needs a rescue mission now. Bring a better vehicle next time. See if I can build a faster vehicle. But yes, so that's all for this time. I did intend on getting to the mountains, but here Jebediah stands on top of his buggy that he flipped by accident. It wasn't me. I don't command these things. It was Jebediah. How about standing on a tire? Would that be safe? What would happen if I stood on a tire? Climb up there, Jeb. No, not like that. Climb up there. Oh, doesn't really do anything. The tire sort of stopped when I touched it. Just push your face right into the tire treads, Jeb. Okay? Alright. Well, anyways, that's all for this video. Maybe I'll have to do another video where I come and rescue Jeb from his flipped vehicle. So, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.